Hi, folks, and welcome to week 6 of Academic Skills Development, which is an introduction to evaluating evidence. Last week, we looked at finding what we thought was going to be, what we hoped would be high-quality academic information about where to look and about how to use these search engines. And Manfred also very kindly went over what made up high-quality academic information. This week, we're focusing on evaluating the evidence that we have found. We're looking at criticality, what it means to be a critical student, and how we can actually sort of pick apart the resources that we have found and determine their value to us as students on our degree. So if I take you through the week 6 folder, we have, as always, 2 Collaborate seminars this week, Monday and Wednesday night for an hour. And much like week 5, these are designed as drop-in sessions for yourselves. If you are having issues, if you're having any problems, if there's something you're not quite sure of, come online, ask myself or Manfred if he can join us, and we will be able to go over that with you there if there's something you're not quite sure of. So they're not led sessions, they're not directed sessions. They're there for you to get help and clarification if you need be. We have a very short video about what it means to be a critical student in higher education and the 3 core concepts. And then we have a video from one of Manfred's colleagues at Canterbury University from the Medway campus about a strategy called BREAD, where you're evaluating your resources for their bias, their relevance, the evidence that they used, the author's credentials, and the date that it was produced. It's a good acronym that we can use for a very quick and very basic sort of once over our resources. Second video is Manfred applying the BREAD strategy to a few different resources that he finds through Google Scholar around, I believe he's looking for contact lenses and their comfort in this particular video. Short video again about something called a p-value. Now this is something you're going to come across because we'll be dealing with a lot of research at level 6, particularly in your future assessments and evidence-based practice. There's a little bit more details about this there, but the p-value is to do with the probability in the research and how effective it is and how likely it is that the item under research is actually having the desired effect. We need to know about p-values because we will be reading research papers, and we need to be able to tell, has this research actually proved or disproved its hypothesis? Again, there will be more detail about this coming in your evidence-based ophthalmic practice, or your, understanding evidence-based practice module, but this is just a very quick introduction for you. In terms of background reading, there are 2 key texts to do with critical thinking, analysis, and reading. So we have Critical Thinking Skills by Stella Cottrell, and we have How to Read a Paper, Basics of Evidence-Based Medicine by Tricia Greenhalgh. These are 2 fantastic texts for us to have a read through. And what I'd like you to do is have a read through chapters 8 and 9 of Critical Thinking Skills here by Cottrell, because it outlines the basics of reading a paper and some example critical frameworks. It's worth having a read of chapter 2 of Evidence-Based Medicine, because that introduces something called the hierarchy of evidence. And this is something that you might want to talk about in your academic skills development essay. It's something you're going to be talking about a lot in understanding evidence-based medicine, evidence-based practice. The exercise for this week, I have included links to, or I've rather included PDF copies of 2 research articles that relate to blue light and its effect on either visual comfort or visual acuity. And what I'd like you to do, folks, is I'd like you to download and have a read through these 2 articles and evaluate them with a basic BREAD strategy, their bias, their relevance, are they reference or are they using evidence, is their author credible, and are they relevant in terms of their date. And then I would like you to complete this critical framework. So this is a document that has been presented originally in Cottrell's Critical Thinking Skills, and I've included it here as an editable Word document. This framework is something that you will be able to use throughout your course. You might find that you want to adapt this or you want to improve upon it. You will find other frameworks will be provided for you in the evidence-based practice module, and it's something we can use to evaluate our research in depth. My Word appears to be having a bit of a go slow. I'm sure it'll catch up with us eventually. Or at least I hope it will. There we go. So you can see that it's a series of editable text boxes, and it asks us a series of questions about the research. And this means that we can really go to town on the research and evaluate it, take it apart, look at each individual little piece of it, and get a much better idea of its relevance and its usefulness. So I'd like you to fill that in for each paper and then email it to me at hlb@abdocollege.org.uk. I'll have a read through what you've got there, and if you've missed any of the major strengths or weaknesses, then I can feed that back to you. As always, we have separate links to those two textbooks for you to peruse at your leisure. But that is pretty much everything for week 6, folks. Usual rules apply. If you're unsure of anything, don't hesitate, get in touch, and we'll help you out. Take care.